Hey everyone, it's Richard. I just wanted to do a quick video going over how to add a command to the command system. So first I'll just do a quick little demo. I've got the Launchpad connected. I've got Houston up here. I'll just show you kind of what to expect with the command system. So if I do just enter the help command, it takes a couple seconds. Houston's got some work that needs to be done, but you'll see it'll respond. There we go. So this is an example of a simple command. The other thing we can do is add arguments to the command. So if we do help task and send that, we're going to get some more detailed information about the task command. So what we're going to do now is implement or add our own command from scratch, and I'll do this like live, no like pre-done code or anything like that, so that you can see the entire process. Basically what you need to do is follow what's already there, since Steven's done a great job with the system already, and there are quite a few commands in there from the start. We just need to follow that structure and just change the names of stuff. So the main file you're going to be dealing with is SFU commands.c. So let's get started. So we can go down, and then right at the top here is the are the details that are given out by the help command. So what we're going to do is just we'll take a simple one, since the ACK command is fairly straightforward, and we'll just copy that near the end. And we need to add a comma above this, and then remove that comma. And then, so this is the subcommand ID. So this is a ends up mapping itself to a define. And then that maps to a list of different subcommands we can have. So our subcommand here is going to be command ACK. The name, so this is just what is printed out for us, so we'll just do ACK. And then the info is just whatever, straightforward info, so this ACKs. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm moving down. So here we are. I've put where we're going to put this. So what we need to do now is implement the actual command that is run, and we'll just do a simple one with no command options to start, and then we'll add the command options after. So all we need for a command is we'll just copy the RF one up here. So we'll add our command function. So this is command ACK. And we don't need to switch on the subcommand ID. And it is important that we return 1 when we succeed. So all we're going to do in this command is serial send Q ACK. So that's the command or the function that's actually run when we enter the command called ACK. So in your commands, you can do all kinds of stuff. You could spin up and create a task if you wanted to. You could just call a bunch of functions that we have to like deal with various things like hardware and whatnot. So what it boils down to is a command runs a function, which is defined in here, and then from there you can then run whatever you need to do to implement your specific command. All we're going to do is just print ACK. So we've got that. We're going to add the options structure later. We'll just do a simple one to start. And we'll keep going down here. So got some options for various commands. And here we go. So the command table. So this is where we are saying the command ID, which just it maps to a number. You'll see that in a minute. The name is just something that we can end up printing out. The function is the name or the handle of the function that actually implements your command. So for us, that's command ACK. The subcommands, so this is a struct that contains the various subcommands, and we'll see how that works in a minute. And then number of subcommands is pretty self-explanatory. So we'll just copy the state one, and we'll pop that in there. Get rid of that comment. So we're going after command ACK, name ACK. The function was ACK, and I believe it was all capitalized. So the subcommands, we are eventually going to have this, but right now we don't. So we can make it null, and we can make the length 0, like you see in the RF command up here. So we'll do null, and we'll say 0. Save that. And that should be good for the commands.c file, assuming I've remembered everything. If not, we will work through the problem, and that'll give you guys a bit more info on how to do this for sure. So next you need to go over to your header file, and oops, I've done this already. What you need to do is define a number, a command identifier number. So Steven's put some restrictions on this, like the maximum number, saying it doesn't really matter what the number is as long as it's below 255. And so we've got 0f because we're just going up by 2, it looks like. So far is sort of the pattern. So just continue that. There's no reason not to. So we've got our command ACK, and then we've got the subcommand identifiers. So we need to add, we'll add one for now, and this is going to be the none subcommand. So this is saying the only command we've entered is just ACK. There's nothing after it. So command ACK none, and this should be 0, which is what we've got. So we'll save that, and let's build it and see if we've done everything right. And it looks like we have, so that's pretty good for a first run. So that's how to add a command with no options, and then we'll add the options once we check that this works. So I'll load the program on, and then we'll jump back into Houston. We'll try and run it and see if it works. Okay, cool. So we'll just hit the play button, and Houston's already running, so we'll see that we've started up. We just scroll down to the bottom here. Yeah. So we've started, RTOS is on, and then these, you'll probably see a couple things come up right at the start, and these are commands that have been scheduled just for testing. That's in the code. You can go track it down. But essentially, we're ready to go. Now, if you're doing this, the satellite is likely printing out a whole bunch of stuff. I've just removed a bunch of tasks that are running periodically, just for the sake of the video and to like simplify everything that's shown. So all we need to do now is just type ACK hit enter to send it. And remember that everything's a little slow right now since it's still early in the development of this utility, but there we go. So you can see the OBC will echo back any command that gets sent to it with the little greater than, less than sign. And then what our ACK command does is print ACK whenever it's called. So good start. Now let's add a couple of options to ACK to make it do different things. So we'll jump back over to Code Composer and let's see what we need to do here. So we'll jump into commands.c and basically back up to the top, and we'll follow everything through and see what we need to do. So in this struct here called command help options, so this comes up when we run the help command with a command name after it. So what this should do is print out the details of each subcommand that a particular command can have. So let's just do this, and you can see it up here, right? Where we have, yeah, like for the get command. Get has several different command options, so task, runtime, heap, types, epoch, all that. And we're saying what each of those do. So this is really good for usability. We need to say what each of our command options do. So I don't remember what format they were doing up there, but let's just say ax, and then we'll go down and say if foo option prints foo, and then we gotta add our new line, and yep, that should be it. So this is just for the help. It's not, well, let's go with this. It is required to add your commands and all their options to the help command. That is going to be useful. So now we need to define our options struct for the ACK command. Where did I put that? It's down here. So this is our command function, and let's just grab a copy of the struct, and then we'll just modify it for our purposes here. So add the option struct, we'll do that right up here. So first thing, we'll change the name. ACK options, all capitals. So the first one is going to be command ACK none, and that is, so the name is, that's what gets sent by the user when they type the command. So that if the name is empty, we're going to run the none version of this command, and then subcommand ACK foo, and name, so this is what people actually type, is called foo. So if I type ACK space foo, the foo thing will run, and we'll see how to do that. So I've just copied, well, we'll need both of these subcommand IDs. But you can see in other commands, what they do is we have a switch on the subcommand ID, and then we just do different things based on that. So we will do the same thing here. So switch, sub, what is it called? Let's copy this whole thing in here. Actually, we'll copy the return 0 as well. Switch subcommand ID. So if we have the none command, we will print serial send queue ACK, and we need another case. Command, and this case is called command ACK foo, and this will say foo because programming. And it's important that you return 1 after each case executes. I've noticed if you don't, it will execute multiple cases. So make sure you're returning 1, and then if something's up, you can return 0. So now we've modified our command to deal with each subcommand that can occur. And now we need to do a couple more things. I'm just going to copy the name of our option struct, and we're going to go down to the command table, just down here somewhere. Here we go. And so right now we said our subcommands struct is null, so we don't have one. Now we do, so we'll just paste in that handle, and we need the length of the subcommands, so we'll just copy our name into there. Looks good. And now, as ever, we need to go back into our header. Typically you do this before, but it's easier to follow the code from the header, or before like doing the header. So we've got our command, that's good. And then now we need to do our subcommand IDs. So command ACK none. Well, let's copy this whole line. And we need to add our foo subcommand. Foo. And we'll just do the pattern we've been seeing where we increment each ID by 2. And that should be it. So let's build it and see if our code is good. And hey, nailed it first time. All right, let's see if it actually works. Okay, there we go. So let's hit run, and then we'll jump back into Houston. So we've just started up after our acts that we were entering before, and now we're ready to go. So let's hit it with just a straightforward ACK command. So it acts right back, and if we do ACK space foo, which is our command option that we just enabled, it should print foo. There we go. So that worked, and yeah, that's really all you need to do to add a command to the subsystem, or sorry, to the OBC. Go through the SFUcommands.c file, copy the existing structure that is there, and then change the names to make it fit your command, and then also definitely be sure to add your command to the help. And I guess one thing I'll need to point out is, since you're probably going to be using functions from elsewhere, include your, whichever header you need in commands.c. And I guess I'll probably do a video on command arguments, which are like we can pass arbitrary data to a command, but that'll be coming up in the next one.